So let's start triple V today in child's pose. So we're going to take our knees about as wide as the yoga mat, big toes together, fold the torso in and reach the arms out in front. We're starting here in child's pose. Throughout the month of October, we have a little bit more of a focus in classes on the upper body, on spinal extension, as well as strengthening in the upper body. Strengthening piece, of course, comes through here in triple B. Come up to your fingertips, lift the forearms, the elbows, and the upper arm bones towards the sky. Just take some breaths. As much as we want the strength, I want to balance out and make sure we still have great mobility, range of motion. And so we're going to focus on both the mobility and the strengthening pieces today. Walk the hands over towards the right side so you get a long side body reach here. Bring the focus mostly into the left fingertips, back to the left hip. And walk the hands across the center and on over to the other side. And now you're focusing on reaching out as far as we can, a little curve there to the right fingertips, but also trying to drag and pull back on the right hip. Walk the hands back through the center. Come on up to all fours. Place the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And then I want you to make one adjustment. Take the hands and the knees slightly wider than you typically would set up. And then do cat and cow from there. You're gonna bend the elbows the whole time so that you don't feel stuck here. But I just wanted to try one thing a little bit different for this movement, a little bit wider. Cat and cow. And then from that wider hands, wider feet, do downward facing dog. Just several breaths to hold in dog pose. And then walk the hands backwards to the feet. Kind of hang over, keep that little bend in the knees, hold on to the elbows. Slowly release the breath out through the mouth each time we exhale throughout this practice. So a lot of times in yoga, we hear breathe in and out of the nose as much as possible when we're doing the strong, active work here. I want you to breathe out through the mouth. And then roll on up to standing. Okay, once we're up, grab the strap or what you have that's substituting for a strap. And this is working on that mobility. Just nice and wide. You don't have to be super precise. Sometimes I want to be really precise with this, but so that this works pretty easy and well, just up and around. And several times. You can go slower or faster, whatever feels nice here. Trying our best to get some bit of a smooth glide. After you've done several rounds, try to take it in slightly more narrow. See if that still works. We do want to go as much as we can pretty even here, so not favoring one side or the other. And then take the strap, top of the strap in the right hand, and put it overhead. The left hand behind your back, palm open. Just walk the hand up the strap a little bit. Certainly not at a point that makes it hard to do this extra movement. So then we're sort of just flossing up and down. Make the top arm straight and then bend, just back and forth like this. All right, and then we just switch hands. So hold left hand at the top, right hand goes behind your back. Where is that? There it is. And same work, just a little bit up and down, up and down. Because what is strength? What is stretch if we don't feel we can move freely? We want to do all of the things. All right, and then set that down off to the side. Go back to downward facing dog on the yoga mat. Come forward to plank pose. And from here, think of the scapula, the wings on the back, and move them closer together and then further apart. So it's like a push-up with straight arms the whole time. Sometimes we say we're flossing the shoulder blades here. And if staying up on the toes feels a little much, go down on the knees so that it's easier to do this work. Now the tricky part is don't squeeze at the tops of the shoulder blades. Try to bring the tips, the bottom of those wings, in towards each other. And it's continuing to pulse here, down and back up, down and back up. It can be pretty minor movements. We've got just one more. Okay, great. And then do come down to the knees if not already and push back to child's pose. Still working on a little bit of that range of motion action. Take the right hand slowly, slowly, slowly out to the side. So if we started on a clock face at both hands at 3, now the right hand, both hands at 12, now the right hand's out at the 3. And then it's going to keep walking, palms still down until it goes back towards your heels. This shouldn't be hard, it's just a lesson in paying attention. And then flip the palm so that it's up towards the sky and pulse straight up 10 times, up and down 10 times. Again, not meant to be hard or difficult here. And if it is, that's giving us some signaling about how we're moving and maybe cultivate more attention, even a visit to the physical therapist if the shoulders, upper back are not moving here with a pretty easy glide. Okay, and then you're going to turn your palm back down. How does that affect the rotation in the shoulder? And walk the hand back towards the 3 and then back towards the 12 at the top of the mat. So again, nice and slow today. Walk the left hand now out towards the 3. Give it a little bit of a pause. And then all the way back towards your bum, the 6. Flip the palm so that it faces up towards the sky. And give little pulses up, up, up. Really taking in, being accountable, taking notice. Before we start to load here, how are we feeling in spine and shoulders? Okay, turn the palm back around, walk it out to the 3, and forward to the 12. Back to downward facing dog. We'll get into a little bit more active movement. From here, falling into the triple B sun salutations. So take the right hand to the left ankle in a twisted down dog. Place the hand back down, left hand to the right ankle, twist underneath, and place it back down. Come forward to plank position. Mountain climbers. Go right, left, keep going. Pretty quick with those mountain climbers. Try to keep the arms absolutely straight. Stability in the shoulders. Strength in the belly here. We're still in mountain climbers. And stop. Step the feet forward. Stand all the way up. Body weight squats down and up. And again, several times here. So rather than repeating the sun salutations, today we're spending time in each exercise throughout. Keep the chest lifted. Find that nice range low in the legs. It's a bit of a squeeze and a press of the hips forward each time you stand all the way up. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last exhale. 1. Take the hands back down. Step back to downward facing dog. Bend the knees and walk the hands backwards to your feet. Okay, stay here, listen up. So you're in your forward fold, hands to the feet. Great work in agility, mobility in the shoulders. Is that walking forward, walking back? We're going to do it 5 times. So you inch the hands out to downward facing dog. Stay for a breath. And then bend the knees, and walk the hands back to the feet. Stay for a breath. Do it again here. Walk it forward. How are you shifting in your weight? How are you protecting, strengthening throughout the body? Walk it back. Do it 3 more times. A little quicker here. Out and in. Out and in. 1 more time, walk it out and walk it in. Hands to the waist, point the elbows to the sky, push down into your feet, come all the way up to standing. Okay, here's where we get into the weights. Pick up a lighter set. I'm starting with a 5-pound weight because I have 10s as my heavier set. So you want whichever is your lighter set if you're working with 2. Hold the dumbbells like candlesticks just down by your side. Everything is 1 arm at a time here. Right hand comes up. Full curl to the shoulder and all the way down. So it's a hammer curl, keeping the head of the dumbbell straight up and down. Assuming that you have something that you're holding onto that creates a good amount of ease. It shouldn't be overly hard here. We're going to go pretty quick with this one. So when you are in your groove, try to speed up the pace just a bit. Always that little bend in the knees, keep the chest lifted. Focus just enough on your breath that you know that it's moving, grooving for you. We're here, just 1 arm at a time, right and left, right and left. We'll do 8 more, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now same thing except turn the palms open, so supinated grip, and 1 at a time. So biceps here, probably a bit more challenging Then the candlestick hold. Working bicep, front of the arm there rather than the back of the arm. Ask for that muscle activation, nice strong squeeze. If it starts to feel a little fatiguing, make sure you're giving a good exhale every time you're doing the hardest thing. Usually the hardest thing here is when you're fighting gravity. So on the curl up, nice little exhale pushes out. And we are here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's set these down nice and safe. Meaning bend your knees as you set the weights down. Give the body a little bit of a shake. And we go back to mobility. Take the right arm up to the sky. And then as if you were standing against a wall, you're just tracing the fingers down, 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 down behind you, making as big of a circle as you can. And then once you get down to your legs, go in the opposite direction. Take it back and all the way forward. And then do the second side. Left arm goes up. I always think like itsy bitsy spider, which is why my fingers flutter there as I walk it down the imaginary wall behind me. And you can certainly do this sort of exercise on its own, shifting your whole body to the wall. A lot of times I do that. All right, both arms go up to the sky. Goddess arms, bend at your elbows. Here's the thing with goddess arms. A lot of times say squeeze in at the tips of the shoulder blades. And yes, you are doing that. But don't do it to such a degree that it involves the upper back as well. If you're watching me for a moment, if I get the upper back, like the shoulders, the traps involved as well, it looks a lot more like this. And that little crunch in the shoulders doesn't feel great. So you want to keep the expanse at the tops of the shoulders, and it's just a little hug in at the bottom line. And we are simply holding this. You can do some rotations in the upper body to get your mind off of the hold. And you are here, you are here, you are here, and then we are done with it. Set the arms down. Take your feet wide here. Bend the knees. So it's like a goddess squat in the legs, and then elbows to the inner thighs, as though they're kind of brushing out a bit to the side. This one's a relief for the arms and upper body. Just making sure that we have that same spaciousness going down into the legs as well. All right, and come all the way back up. So this time you're going to grab whatever happens to be your heavier set of dumbbells. Lie all the way down onto your yoga mat. Set the soles of the feet to the mat just like you would if you were doing bridge pose. And the arms kind of out to the side like those goddess shape arms that we just did. This is good old chest press. So you push down through the head, top of the shoulders, and the butt and the feet. Keep all those points on the floor so that you always have a little curve of the neck off of the ground. And let's do it. Straighten the arms and bend. So each time we come into that bend, you want to feel that full goddess shape, the goalpost, if you will. Keep the elbows off of the ground. Just straight and bend. The line should be upper chest here. not low to the hips. Again, we're using a weight that gives us the opportunity to find our full range of motion here, not so overly heavy for yourself that this becomes too strained. We're going with volume, lots of repetition, rather than heavy, heavy weight. Exhale as you press the arms up each time. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully set those weights down, and you need to keep just one of them. So then once you have one weight, both hands hold on to it. At the big ends of the dumbbell, you're still back here. Arms straight up to the sky. Lats, we're working. Sides of the back, if you will. Take the arms overhead until they're just a few inches above the ground, and then straight back up to the sky. Push down through your feet, your butt, your shoulders, back of head. Keep that curve of the low back and the neck off of the ground. Slow and steady wins the race for this one. So think a count of 2 or 3 to lower the weight, a count of 2 or 3 to lift the weight. If this feels difficult, do push into that low back. Bring the navel towards the spine so that the low back moves more towards the mat each time you lift the weight overhead into the exhale lift. Three, 2, 1 to lower. 3, 2, 1 to lift. Keep going. You're doing well. And then pull the weight in towards the chest. Safely sit all the way up. You need the 2 weights again. We're going back to the chest press. So we're repeating those 2 exercises. Lie back down, arms in the goddess shape. This time I will count us off. We've got just 10 here, up and down for 2, for 3, 4, 5, 6, good, 7, 8, just 2 more, 9, and 10. Carefully set one weight down. If you need to sit up in between to most safely transition, please do. And then weight straight up to the sky, holding the end of each. Nice and secure. 10 lat raises. 1, 2. Again, these are slightly slower pace. 3, so you can really accentuate that lengthening and lift. 5, 10 total. 6, so 4 more. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come all the way up to a seated position. Keep holding on to that one weight, or switch the one weight to a lighter weight. That's what I'm going to go with. Feet stay on the ground for more challenge. Lift them up as you continue to hold the weight in the same way that you just did for your lat raises. We're side to side here. Boxer twist. If I was in yoga class, I like to call these cosmic abs, sort of swimming side to side. As possible, with feet off of the floor, you're going all the way one side to the other so that you're resting just on one side of your butt with each twist. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the weight down. Soles of the feet together, knees out on either side. Take the hands behind your back. Lift the chest and extend. Several breaths. And then come forward, hands in front of the feet. Walk, walk, walk out a bit. Okay, make your way up to standing. So last big ask for us for this class. I'm going to hold, I'm going to go with the lighter weight because, again, we're focusing on making sure we get into the full range of our movement and things not being overly trying today. So holding the dumbbell in the right hand, left hand at the waist. I'm not going to try to mirror here. We're going to do a squat. Keep the chest lifted, so make sure you're not falling forward. And as you stand up, we're going to curl and overhead press that one weight, and then it goes down. And we'll try to do it in a pretty quick, continuous fashion. So it's a squat to raise. Join me as you find your rhythm. Just on one side, squat to raise. More focused on what is the range of the movement for you, less focused on this being something hard to do. Finding your sync, making sure that we are activating the muscles, getting everything in sync with one another, and it not being overtaxing here. Squat to raise. Good. Keep going. Find a pretty quick pace if possible. Squat to raise, and it's like an elevator with the arm constantly going up and down. Just add in that squat in between. I'm giving us 4 more. 4, 3, 2, good, 1. Of course, we need to switch sides. Left hand takes it. Pretty wide stance in the feet. Make sure you're at least outer hip distance apart, but toes stay straight ahead. Knees go over the middle of the foot. We know all those things are working for us. And let's get this one done. It's the last big movement with the extra resistance of the weight. We'll come down and do one more round of that boxer twist with or without the weight. Squat and raise. Squat and raise. Every time the arm extends down, you squat. Stand tall every time the arm extends up.
All right, we're into our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back down to the yoga mat, with or without the weight this time. Back into the boxer twist. Again, for more stability, feet can stay on the ground as you go side to side. Or, a little more challenging, they come up and you try to glide hip to hip. Get the breath involved. Exhale each and every time you switch directions. Those nice strong exhale breaths if you're moving in that manner. Get the pelvic floor, the diaphragm all working together. Nice added benefit. We're here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together, knees out to the side, hands behind your back in that butterfly position. Enjoy the breath. Change the hands forward of the feet, but still think pretty long spine, so we're not folding all the way forward and over into a good reach. Bring the knees back up into the center, straighten the legs out in front of you. Let's take a good old seated twist here. Right foot comes in and over and take the twist. A little longer stretch and cool down today so that we can go back to some of that mobility work. Right foot release, take the left foot in and over and twist. I'm just holding the front of the shin here rather than going outer thigh to make this most doable right now. Okay, and then release both legs straight out in front of you. Grab the strap that you were working with again. I should have mentioned, all of this can also be done with like the invisible strap in between where you're simply holding the hands in place. It works a little better to hold on to something though, if possible. Okay, so arms up to the sky with holding onto that strap. This might feel a little more Pilates, what is this? I think teaser-like. You're gonna slowly roll down, trying to keep the arms overhead. And then once you're all the way down onto your back, the arms go down as well. Take the arms back up to the sky, holding each end of the strap pretty wide. Slowly roll up from the head through the top of the shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back, until you come all the way up. Do that 2 more times. Slowly roll down, trying to keep the arms straight overhead the whole time until your head is down, and then the arms go behind your back. Arms straight up towards the sky. Tuck chin to chest, pick up upper back, mid back, low back. Stretch the arms straight up towards the sky. Arms try to stay straight up towards the sky as you slowly roll back down. And then arms go. Arms straight up as head, upper back, mid back, low back, and lift. Good. Stay right here, wide enough on the strap that you can do like we did standing at the very beginning, just taking it up and over. I always do this after the body is warm because it is a little bit harder when you don't have the movement of the lower body to kind of help you out. Arms wide enough on that strap that this is somewhat of a smooth, easy lift and lower. You can have a double bend in the elbows to make it more doable as well. 2 more times, up and back. Good, and then the strap off to the side. Regular old shoulder stretch here. So again, I'm not mirroring. Right hand across, hook towards the upper part of the forearm. And then same hand, give yourself a pat on the back with the left fingers. Try to point the right elbow more up and back. Hug close in. As you release, take both hands behind your back. Give a good lift in the chest first. Okay, and then we repeat to the second side. Left arm, kind of hook at the upper part of the forearm, right before your elbow. And give yourself a pat on the back with your left hand. Point the elbows straight up, pull it in with the other hand. Both hands behind your back, nice lift in the chest. Okay, last little bit here, lie down onto your belly. We'll end up ending in this belly down position. Arms forward, like you're getting ready for superhero pose, but I want you to keep your legs on the ground the whole time. Feet can be as wide as your yoga mat, and just start to drag your hands back towards you until you're in Sphinx pose with forearms down and a lifted chest. And then slowly drag the hands back out. I hope you're on some surface that allows you to kind of drag in and out. We're doing it 2 more times. Drag in until the forearms can set down. Nice lift in the chest. And then drag back out. Drag in, that drag in, allowing muscle activation. And then stretch it out. Take the hands out into a T shape. Bring the right hand in right beside the right shoulder and chest. And then roll onto the left side. Pick your right foot up. Try to tap towards the left hand. Keep your head and shoulder on the ground here. One more stretch for the shoulders as you open in the hips. And then come on back to the chest. Left hand pulls in. Take the right hand straight out to the side. And same thing, side of the head stays down onto the mat. Don't try to lift the head or neck. And step the left foot back behind. All right, and then we come back to the center. Create a pillow with your hands and simply lie your forehead down into that pillow.
Feet definitely as wide as your yoga mat, and try to shift your hips a little bit from side to side. Let some strong exhales out through the mouth. So loosening up, creating that last little bit of mobility here. Just shifting side to side in the hips. And then let everything come to stillness. Take about 5 breaths here, face down in this stillness. Congratulate yourself for 2 specific things we did in this practice that felt right to you. Capture 1 good thing that you will do in the next hour. Get the kids off to school, take a shower, enjoy a cup of coffee, whatever that one next good thing is for you. With that, push yourself back into child's pose, really bowing into grace of self. Okay, thank you for your time for practice today. I'll see you again soon for the next Triple B. You're welcome.